Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Skyrim Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Emberstone Keep mod, which is being made by user M. McCarthy4. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is quite possibly one of the most impressive castles I've seen for Skyrim. This thing is amazing, and of course is the aforementioned Emberstone Keep, which isn't just a cool looking castle, it's a fully functioning player home with everything you'd expect a player home would have. Now, as for location, this is in the Rift, and it's to the northwest of Riften and just outside Boulderfall Cave in the mountains to the west. And it's quite easy to see from pretty much anywhere in the Rift, as it has a pretty imposing cliffside location. Now, as for all the amenities here, on the outside of the castle, we do have a lovely little pond for you to sit at and enjoy. And as for on the inside of the castle bailey, well, we've got a beautiful little garden area for you to grow your various plants and herbs in, as well as a full blacksmithing station area with, you know, the smeltery, the grindstone, all the things you'd imagine should be there are there. Now, as for the keep, when you go inside, you're going to be greeted by a pretty quaint little entrance stairwell, and at the bottom of it, you can actually head down into the cellars, where you have plenty of storage for all your food and drink, and even some very amusing large chunks of ice over in the corner, chilling everything down. Now, back on the first floor, we have a full kitchen and dining room area with a massive table with plenty of seating for you and your guest, storage at the wine racks, and of course, a full functioning kitchen with everything you need in there for making a quick meal. Now, moving on to the second floor, it is sort of the magical floor with magic workstations for alchemy, enchanting, etc., and also does have a display area with display cases, mannequins, so that you can show off your various cool sets of armor you found around the world. Now, the third and fourth floors are the private living quarter area, where the third floor itself has a fireplace, some nice storage, and also off to the side, a lovely bath for you to soak in, and on the other side, a full safe room for you to store all of your valuables. Now, on the fourth floor, it's an open plan sort of a thing here, where you have your bedroom and your study all in one location, with, of course, a bed to sleep in, and plenty of storage for books and whatnot there in the study. And what's even more fun here is we have an entrance on the fourth floor up to the roof of the keep, where you have a nice little table and some pretty spectacular views of the Rift. And all in all, this place is just magnificent. I really do like it. We've got the lovely little path here leading up with some more basic palisade sort of defenses, and then moving on to the impressive little gatehouse here, where we can open it up. We have a defensible murder hole if your enemies ever do breach the gates, and of course a secondary gate here for you to close up. It's all rather quite nice. Now, when we do come into the inner bailey, we have the garden over here on the right-hand side with plenty of things for you to harvest just straight up, but also some planting beds for you to plant some things in, as well as some beehives for honey, and of course a chopping block for wood. And on the left-hand side is where we have the smithing area with our full forge, the leather-working stuff over here, everything you need to make yourself some nice weapon and armor, and even, of course, some nice supply chests here for you to store your things in. Now, as for the way to defenses and whatnot, we have a stairwell here by the smithing area. Now, this doesn't head to defenses, it actually heads to the second floor of the keep. But if we head on over here on the right-hand side, we do have access to the walls. And to show off probably my favorite thing about this, one of the reasons I love this is, well, all the arrow slits and matriculations actually are functional. We can shoot arrows through these things at our attackers, and that That is magnificent. So many castle mods I've seen, these things are just for show, and they rarely ever have real matriculations. This one took the time to actually make all the right colliders so you could have a siege here. And even with the murder hole, the colliders are just right so you can shoot down in there. And that is just awesome. I really, really do love that. Being a fan of medieval defenses, that is very cool that we've got the crenelles, we've got the matriculations, we've got the arrow slits. It is a usable, defensible castle. Now let's head on into the keep and take a look at everything in here. And again, it is just so beautifully made. And, you know, as for castles I usually see for Skyrim, much more realistic of a castle, which I like. Now, we do come into the pretty quaint little staircase area here, taking us to the different floors. Let's head down into the cellar first, at the cellar door. And it's a pretty basic place, but we do, of course, have some storage crates sitting around. We've got the barrels, and, of course, the large chunks of ice with plenty of Blackbriar Reserve being nice and chilled here, as well as a large variety of meat for you to grab. Very cool. I just like that fun little detail of the ice keeping things cool down here. Now, heading back on up to the kitchen and dining area. There we go. We have some lovely, large, impressive doors slowly opening to our beautiful dining room, where we've got a nice, smoky, atmospheric place here. Some nice storage with the wine racks already pre-stocked with some Alto wine. Very good. Have ourselves a lovely throne we can sit at, and of course, the full kitchen area with a oven in the back here, some sweet rolls to eat, and of course, a cooking pot there. And as for storage, we've got a chest down here below the table. Now, moving on up to the second floor, and personally, I think my favorite room in here, because, I mean, it's the magic area, and I love magic in Skyrim. It's just wonderful. We have this beautiful mage's corner with all sorts of gems and items, and I do love that these are real objects we can take rather than just, you know, fake clutter items that are just there for display. They are usable potions and bones and all that sort of stuff. And we've got ourselves an alchemy lab, we've got ourselves an enchanting table, and even a staff enchanter. All the things you'd expect of a mage's lair. Now, you may have noticed this when I was going through the images at the beginning, both here and in the bedroom upstairs. There's currently a glitch with some missing textures, as well as you can may or may not be able to hear, actually, more importantly. The floor makes no sounds. We have no footsteps. That's one of the bugs that exists right now, but the mod maker has said in the comments on this mod that he's got a patch coming this Sunday. So hopefully in 2 days from this video's release, those items should be fixed, which will be pretty nice. Now, back to the tour, though. Here we've got our lovely display area. Plenty of places to put all of your cool weapons and armor. I especially like this one. You know, put your more druidic kind of armor there to look very in place. Some more mannequins in here in the back, into that door that I showed off on the outside earlier. Now let's head on up to the private quarters, moving on up to the third floor, which this one is actually where the stairwell ends. We got a lovely bench there, and a private quarters that's going to take us into another loading zone for that whole area. Now, as you can see, we've got some more of those missing textures on the columns. I'm assuming that's supposed to be some sort of cloth dangling there. Again, hopefully that'll be fixed come Sunday. But we've got a beautiful fireplace, another lovely throne, more importantly, another wine rack. And of course, on the left-hand side, we've got this beautiful little bath. And on the right-hand side, we've got that safe room full of gold coin purses and all sorts of safes, and even a lot of statues of Debella for you to, you know, either start your riches or store your riches. Very nice. We've got an area over here also behind the stairs. We've got some additional storage and just a few little bits and bobs. I love the clutter objects in this that they have placed because, again, it kind of feels like a lived-in castle. You know, you got the extra mounted heads on the floor, you know, rugs and all that sort of stuff. Very cool. Now let's head on up to the 4th floor, where we have on the right-hand side our study area with plenty of bookcases for storage. More of those missing textures. Some lovely books scattered around the place. Lots of sealed scrolls, all that sort of stuff. And of course, our bedroom over here, complete with loot, a bed, and of course, more storage all around, which is always lovely to have. Now, we've also got just sort of a nothing bit over here. Ooh, oh boy, that's a first. I haven't clipped through that before. All right, they're missing a collider right there. That's new. All right, wonderful. Well, let's head back up the stairs and head up these stairs to the roof and to the end of our tour. All in all, this is just such an amazing keep. Now, again, up here on the roof, we actually do have a functioning defenses. We can shoot down these matriculations as well to the enemy and are protected by the crenellations. We've got a lovely table with a map to prepare for war. And again, just some beautiful views of the rift, which, if I'm remembering correctly, yeah, that way. So we got Riften down over there in that direction. And yeah, it's just an absolutely magnificent castle that is realistic in all the best ways and also fantasy in all the best ways. And that's why I love this one so much. Actually, I'm gonna go God mode real quick because you can fall down these holes here for you to defend the castle with, so I just want to come down to the Bailey. Wonderful. But what I really love about this and why I don't like a lot of castle mods out there is that it's actually a more realistic size. So many castle mods I see are these large, sprawling castles that are larger than the actual towns and cities in the game. This is a much more realistic size. Most castles were just a keep in the real world with a Bailey. And it looks like a more realistic castle with just the rough stonework. It's not some massive fantasy creation that looks like it should be in the Lord of the Rings. It looks like it could fit in well in, like, England or France. And I love that. And as for the fantasy end of things, I mean, it does look suitably Skyrim, in my opinion. It's got a lot of cool, nice, overgrown things, the nice little fantastical garden, and just overall a cool feel. And if you'd like to take a look at this mod for yourself to check it out, which I would certainly recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the description, as per usual, my friends. But that is gonna be it for this video today. Hopefully you have enjoyed, and you do come back for the next episode, when hopefully we'll be looking at yet another wonderful mod. But until that time, my friends, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one!